Okay, so welcome to this month's Tech Talk. Due to coronavirus, or I've heard a lot of different terminologies for it, from China virus to Wuhan virus to COVID-19 to coronavirus, or as we call it in our house, Rona. We are doing this Tech Talk remote. So I am in my home office and Josh is in his home office. We're using Zoom here to do this Tech Talk. So we thought we'd just talk about how the coronavirus has affected Qubit's operations and kind of, what we're doing. So the first thing I think we've all kind of experienced, probably everybody watching this, is now we're doing a lot more video conferencing, Zoom, GoToMeeting, whatever that may be. And so one of the fun things is the backdrops, right? So that is not Josh's house.
No,
right?
It's not. I've had several people tell me I have an awesome house, and I was like, well, it's fake.
Right. Well, you do, right?
Yeah.
But that's just not it, right?
Right.
But we've all kind of figured out how to choose the virtual backgrounds, right? So one of my favorites is, going to the Bears locker room.
Nice.
Or possibly sitting in my favorite movie scene, or being drafted by the Bears, or going back to Iceland and seeing the Northern Lights, or going to the moon, right? So those are some of my favorite backgrounds. Josh, what are some of yours?
Well, I had a similar one with the dude behind me.
Right.
Let's see. I had sitting in a winter. Oh, that one won't allow it. All right, there we go. Winter Wonderland. There we go.
Okay.
And the Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
What about the bunker?
I have my bunker one. There we go.
Right.
There's my bunker. Yeah. And then I did have this one as well.
Okay. So anyway, so everybody's probably played around with that a little bit, and it's kind of fun. We kind of asked ourselves, then it started to come out, is Zoom even safe, right? And so we started to look kind of hard at that, and we're actually looking at a couple other platforms, most notably Blue Jeans. This is being recorded on Zoom. But Josh, I don't know if you got any 2 cents on that.
Well, I mean, I think Zoom was relatively low target before because it wasn't very popular, and so I don't think they're necessarily a negligent company at all. I mean, I think they've responded to the use and all of the vulnerabilities that have come out fairly well. I just don't think they had the traffic before or the attention, and now all of a sudden they have all this attention, and all the hackers are paying attention. So even Conan O'Brien, I saw Conan O'Brien dropping in on random company Zoom meetings, just as kind of like a joke. I mean, it's not really a hack, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah. No, my son shared with me these guys that were asking on these are pranksters, and on their YouTube page, they would ask college students to give their credentials to drop in class. And so guys would just drop in and then just do random, crazy, sometimes bad stuff. I mean, nobody got hurt, but it was just kind of inappropriate at times. I found out through this that, so now, Josh was talking to me earlier about this. So I am in shorts right now because I went out and rode my bike during the lunch hour because it's raining now and I wanted to, and I came back. And so, I had to be on a couple other Zoom calls. And so I put on my Qubit shirt, but the lower extremities are the shorts. You were talking earlier that you worked out, and then came back and
I got into work. I just ended up sitting at my home office, all in my workout clothes for a few hours because I just got focused on work, and I was like, I need to go get dressed.
Yeah. So I think everybody kind of working from home can kind of relate to that. Yeah. From a work perspective, I know that we've seen a lot of phishing attempts and things go way up, really trying to target people working at home because so much more communication is being done remotely now. I think people are probably more susceptible to that.
For sure.
Fortunately, we've implemented some new stuff on our end to really get ahead of all that. We've implemented the full checkpoint suite of CloudGuard and Endpoint, and that's been fantastic because it's just stopped those things almost cold, frankly. Just pretty much stopped them cold. So, we've had a lot of, our work just in a nutshell, it feels like, certain parts of our organization are busier now than they've ever been.
Right.
And then certain parts are just, there's not a lot going on. So I don't know if you can speak to that from kind of the, engineering lead and the tech lead or technology lead.
Yeah, it definitely feels like there was a lot of scramble for companies to figure out working from home. And so we had a lot of questions around that. And it seems like a lot of work that may have been more scheduled out. Hey, while we're shut down, let's see if we can get all this work done.
Right.
So it feels like we're busier. I definitely now trust people working from home every now and then more often than I did before.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's been interesting getting some feedback from clients too, that some clients have said that they've seen their productivity go up, working from home than when they were in the office, which I thought was kind of interesting. And others, I remember one in particular that was like dead set against working from home. And then on like a Thursday decided we need to have everybody working from home on Monday. And they like turned in a matter of 4 days from like, we'll never work from home to like, everybody's working from home. And that's definitely been a change. So it's pretty interesting. I've also found that we've done a lot more. I've done a lot more as a CEO of trying to communicate with my employees. I think everybody's worried about getting laid off. Are they going to get laid off? Where do we stand future-wise, et cetera? And just trying to, I know the first week when we were in this, I felt like I just needed to reach out to everybody and just calm everybody down that like, hey, we're going to get through this, okay? And, and I got a lot of, feedback from my employees that they appreciated that approach. Now that we're 5 weeks in, I don't feel quite like, I got to have a weekly meeting with everybody to like calm the fears anymore. Cause I think everybody's kind of absorbed this, whatever it is.
The new norm for a little while.
Exactly. So not a tremendous amount of tech on this month's Tech Talk, but I thought it would be interesting to kind of walk through for us and kind of a technology company, how the work from home has really kind of affected us. I did do a fun thing on Friday. I did and I know other people have seen this too, but I did a virtual happy hour with both my brothers and my dad and a couple other
Nice.
Childhood friends of ours, and that was a lot of fun to see all their faces and have a couple beers on my deck with them. So
we did a virtual Easter dinner with my whole family. Everyone had a laptop set up.
Yeah. Right. I know that you and I have both done, kind of virtual church and, some other things like that too. So I think pretty much everybody in America's got some kind of a story like that. But it's been good. So appreciate everybody watching this. Hopefully some of you watched it till the end. Another thing that I'm just kind of going random here. So we have more, we've offered some webinars, and like the attendance to those has been like off the charts because I think that people are just at home working from home and maybe don't have a whole lot going on or looking for a change or something. Because a couple of our webinars are like the attendance is really, which is great. But, sometimes we're struggling to get, from a sales perspective to get, 5 to 10 and we're getting like 30 to 40. So that's kind of cool. So, but anyhow, that's all we got. So hopefully next month we'll be doing something like live and in person and not in a stay-at-home quarantine state. So that's it. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.